Howdy Buccaneers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to No Man's Sky Outlaw, Episode 13, Tech Entrepreneur. It was voted that I build in like an underwater cave system. That was the ultimate determination through polling. It was actually pretty overwhelming, the underwater base caves. So I have found just that, and I want to show off the location that I've spotted for you all. So here it is. I know I'm not underwater yet, but I will be. So I will give you the flight tour first, just to show you the sort of spot around, and then I'll show you exactly where I plan on building. Oh, bye. Lift off a little bit, hover, and look down. It is a relatively nondescript island in the middle of the ocean. And this is, of course, the dissident outlaw planet that you all chose for me to settle on. And this is where I want to build, down yonder. So I am underneath the island, and I will give you a little Nautilus tour. So underneath this island is mostly hollow, as you can see. And the plan is to build down here for our smuggler base. As you can see, it is a open and relatively expansive area. This would be easier to see if it was like daytime. But yeah, I am in an underwater cave under an island, and there's just a huge amount of room, and it's very pretty. Again, it's more obviously pretty during the day, but it's a very large island. It takes, a few minutes of Natilian's shuttling to fully traverse it. So that is the plan. And what I work on first will ultimately be up to you. But it looks like continuing the pirate base is what we'll do. Yeah, I really like the location. I scouted out maybe like 4 or 5 separate different locations. And I happened upon this one just because it's so open that it will be a great view, but also not visible from space because there's a huge honking island on top of it. So, and then the portal hole in the middle, this one, I am hoping to have a landing pad down here in the water so that I can pull up alongside the island and just like land into the center. No, not necessary, buddy. Alright, let's see if I can't. It's a little tricky to, like, fly out of this hole, though. Your jetpacks will still work if you, like, hug the side. No, I fell. I'll try again. And I want to do as little terrain deformation as possible. I don't want to use the terrain manipulator to build, because when you log out and log back in, it, like, goes back to normal. So, you should not... I repeat, should not design a base that requires you to manipulate the terrain, because it won't work. You'll get, like, super glitchy bases as a result. Not fun. Wish it was daytime, though. Be a better view. Yeah, it's a massive... I don't even know what you call, like, a floating island. I mean, a floating island, I guess. There's not a lot of examples IRL of floating islands quite like this one, though. Although I did see like a viral video that went viral on Reddit of like some floating island. I think it was like in Wisconsin or Michigan or something like that. That was like a floating bog island, and they had like 50 motorboats like essentially plowing into it to put it back where it belonged because it had drifted away from where it was supposed to be. It was a oh man, I really can't climb this. It was a really hilarious sight to be seen. Just like a bunch of boats pushing an island around. And they weren't like tugboats. They were just like people's, recreational motorcraft jet boats. But, the island was getting in the way of a bridge or something. And they were like, okay, so let's just ram it. There we go, I'm fumbling up. It'll be far less of an issue to make that climb when I have like a landing pad in the middle of the island. So, looks like you guys want me to continue working on the pirate base. So here's the thing. In order to do the pirate base, I am going to need to do two things. I'm going to need to get some more research to unlock components that I need. And then, on top of that, I am going to need to get materials for building the actual pirate base. So what to do first? Research or materials. And then there's several different ways to get materials. So the different ways to get materials could be terrain manipulator grinding for it, going from station to station to try to buy it, or alternatively setting up a mining base for it, which would... I really only need like one specific material for a mining base, but the choice will be yours. And it looks like, at least for now, research is leading. So my plan is to just dig up salvage technology from this planet. But let me get over to the mainland, where I don't have an island. And if you're wondering, I have already marked that island. Whoa, I'm way high. I've already marked that island off with a base location, so I'm not going to lose it. So I did come up with several sort of designs that I would like to employ in base building, which I think will look cool and also efficient, and will capitalize upon the really cool view that I have down there under the island. So give me 1 second, updating my priority. Get research. So there's a lot of different items that I think would look really cool added into the base, but you know, ultimately it's a matter of cost, right? Because every cool part's going to require me to get more and more research for buried tech, and also, you know, I do feel like there's a bit of an advantage for me to push along some of the other goals as well. So there's a balance of like how cool I'm going to make it versus speeding along the quest line so that, you know, I don't get hung up on grinding salvage tech or materials forever. Because it's an easy rabbit hole to disappear into. Let me tell you. Anyone that has ever done base building in No Man's Sky knows it suffers from that just one more turn itis, where you're like, alright, but like one more room. Alright, but what? One more power supply, one more drill, one more battery, and then you're like, oh, 10 hours have passed. I guess I've one moored myself. Like you do. Amazing Sturdy, thank you for the resub. I'm glad you like the series. So, one of the things about that base location is it does have a source of copper and a source of oxygen nearby that I can mine, well, or atmosphere collect. The one issue is it does not have a electromagnetic source of power. And because I want to build a pirate base, probably solar's out. Now, interestingly enough, solar will work like underwater. It just might look a little goofy because it shouldn't work underwater. It just does, because the game doesn't try to make calculations about, like, is it a valid spot or not? It just allows it. So, the question is, powering it up, I can do a few different ways. I could do the solar route anyway. I could do an antimatter route, which I feel like might fit the pirate theme best. You know, having an antimatter powered base. And the thing about the antimatter powered base is, as I mentioned, the resources closest to the base is copper. There's a A-tier copper mine, and copper refines into chromatic metal. So if I got enough carbon, which isn't particularly hard to get, I could get a lot of antimatter for not too much effort. Or I could do biomatter. I mean, you know, there's a bunch of different ways to power up a base. So when it comes time, I'll probably pull you guys. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm just salvaging tech so I can unlock the parts for base building. Getting at all research. Gotta say, having a better jetpack would do some wonders. Can you autocraft copper into chromatic metal? So there's not like production chain facilities in the game that can accommodate that, but it's not that hard to have like 4 large, or you know, like a large refiner or 2 that just kind of does it whenever you need antimatter. But there isn't. Oh, you know, I'll stop for a echolocator. Sorry, robots. Do they even care? I don't even think I went hostile. They're just like, oh, yeah. It's the Dread Pirate. Let's let her roll. I am running out of exosuit space, though. So, what do I get rid of? I honestly don't know. I'm gonna need living pearls. Shoot, there's like nothing. I guess I'll get rid of the chromatic metal. Gotta be careful about filling up my inventory. Yeah, the Sentinels really didn't care that I like blasted their buddy and just walked away. They know better. Alright. So given my... Oh, you know, one thing I could obviously get rid of is the silica. Well, the thing about silica is underwater bases require a lot of glass, and silica smelts into glass, as does frostwort. But, you know, I can't get frostwort yet, so silica's like not a terrible thing to start to collect. Although it's really easy to grind for, I suppose. And just terrain deformation up a bunch, and you got yourself a heaping sum of it. Its conversion ratio into glass is pretty bad, though, so you need a whole lot of it. So it's often better just a frostwort farm if you need a lot of glass. Keeps you more sane. Can I call my ship? Oh, I certainly could. But I'm not worried about that yet. I'll call my ship once I have all the salvage data I can hold. Oh, another thing is not only is my base marked, but the Natilion's like down there as well. So unless I resummon the Natilion, it's already in the base spot. So I've got 23 so far. I'll go for like, I don't know, 40, 50, something like that. So, question to you all. How to power the base? Antimatter? Solar? Bio? Yeah, really just those 3. I guess. Because electromagnetic is out. There are no nodes nearby. There's like ways to expand your base to gain access to electromagnetic if it's like slightly beyond. I think you can technically go up to about 1,000 units in any one direction using the exploit or trick. Exploit makes it sound dirty. Using the trick, but it's not something I plan on employing. The TLDR of that trick, if you're wondering, is whenever you build something, you gain an ownership bubble around the thing you built. So, if you stand at the edge of your 300 units and then build like a floor panel like 20 meters in front of you, then you've expanded your base's ownership range by a little bubble around that 20 meter in that direction. There's a lot of other sort of like tricks and exploits to be able to make bases larger, but that's a pretty common one, and that's mostly used to just expand to get to resource nodes like mining or power or gas or something like that. That's not generally used to actually make a mega base because there is a part count that you can't exceed. So there's not much point in trying to build something that's like actually larger than 300 units in every direction, because you're going to definitely exceed the base's complexity limit way before that ever happens. But yeah, I figured I'd share that little tidbit of information if it's useful to you. The reason I'm not necessarily planning on expanding my base like that is if I'm trying to stay hidden from the authorities. I know I'm on an outlaw dissident planet, but I want to hide from other pirates that are trying to, rob me, right? Having a giant base footprint puts me at risk. So trying to hide things is smart. And of course, this is role-playing. It's not like I'm actually getting robbed. But one of the advantages of having an underwater base is I don't think that, random pirates can probably attack your base, which can happen. It looks to me like I am out of salvage tech nearby. How many do I got? So I got 33 on me, and then 4 in the starship. I'll jet this way, see if there's... All right, let's call it in and see what I can buy with that. So grav tank, arrive. Oh, yeah, it would help if I actually refueled the thing.
Technology recharge.
And it's daytime. So it looks to me like we're going the route of antimatter. Got it. Cizeron, thank you for the resub, and Mikas too. So I'm hoping to buy antimatter hours of power source, and also buy some base rooms and the like. Why not a mix of 2 or 3? Because of salvage tech costs. Oh, am I? Yeah, I'm set on multiplayer, aren't I? I was trying to help Zero Day with something, and forgot to turn multiplayer off. Hey, look, I just deleted people. I could definitely at some point mix 2 or 3 types of power generators for sure. Antimatter is definitely more or easier to manage than biofuel, and solar doesn't really make all that much sense in the scheme of things. So let's see here. Some of the types of rooms that I want for the actual base building. So when you're building underwater, the regular construction like alloy, stone, timber does not work. It gets flooded, and your base you'd be swimming around in your base. It'd be a big problem. So I'm obviously not going to go that route. Because I'm not building near an electromagnetic generator, I don't really need that either. Buying a gas extractor would be smart if I wanted to start gas extracting the oxygen node that I live near. But I don't need that immediately, not at least to set up an initial base. So this is the aquatic construction that I have already, but you're not necessarily restricted to aquatic only. I think is probably worth mentioning as well. So, let's see here. I want to get an antimatter reactor. So we'll get the medium refinery and antimatter reactor. So I have 7 salvage data left. Yep, 7 total. I was wondering if... Okay. And I'm gonna probably need to do some more underwater. So other construction styles that I want to get. I wouldn't mind getting foundations so that things could be raised up, but I don't think it's all that necessary initially, at least. But it would be good to have a foundation for the landing pad and things like that. I also really want to get the biodome. A biodome is a really easy way to do mass farming because it has a whole bunch of plant slots in each biodome, and you can harvest all the plants with a central console. So it just is so much easier to farm with a biodome. So that's another 10 salvage data, and it would be 8, 13, 23 salvage data just to get the biodome. Windows are also kind of nice. I wouldn't mind to get that, so I'll add them. Additionally, I want to build the base largely out of glass cuboid rooms. So I'm going to get that now. And I'm going to try to count up how much other stuff I want. So, let's see. Curved cuboid roof for 3 is something that I would like. Do I have the water door? That is a good question. I do. I do have a watertight door. And moon pool. So those two are important. So the curved cuboid roof for 3. This is 6, 11, 16, 26, and then let's say 27. So roughly 27 more salvage data gets me enough to start, which is reasonable. So let's get to it. I'll probably aim for a little bit more than that, so I have a little bit more spending. Research. How much do I play at a stream? Basically none. Normally I don't play even but 1 second. The only time that hasn't been true in this year, honestly, is when I was scouting out a base location for this series. That's how little I play off stream. On this save. Like, I'll play, I'll play on my own saves. My own personal ones, but not the streamed one. Ever. As a rule of thumb. Foundation is also OCD friendly. Yes, I agree. Now the cuboid style that I want, I only really need the there's like a trussing grid thing. It'll make more sense when I unlock it. I do have a design in mind already, so which is mostly cuboid glass and biodome. Hence the needing of both. Oh, actually, it wouldn't be bad if I got a health restorative. I'm a little injured. You definitely prefer having the foundation? Yeah. It depends on the design, for sure. This is crazy. There's one. Oh, okay. I was looking the wrong direction. Normally there's like at least one buried tech module like within a 300 unit radius around you. It's very, very weird to have not been harvesting them and to not have any near you, because they're actually quite common. I guess before I stray away from the ship too far, I should probably dump some of my stuff into it. So, radiant shards, they're yours. Metal plating, ion batteries. Can I summon my ground vehicles from different planets? Yes, so each... Right now I only have the Roamer Geobay and the Natillion chamber, but anytime you build those chambers, you can summon your Exocraft to where you built that chamber. So like if I wanted a Roamer, I could stick the Roamer platform down and just summon my Roamer and it would just appear. And your Exocrafts can only exist in one spot, so if I left the planet, I'd have to... it would stay where I left it. But if I wanted to, move it, I would just need to resummon again. And then there is a platform that you can unlock, which is like an everything platform. It allows you to just... It's a summoning platform of all Exocraft. So you can just, like, pick which one you want. And generally, players will leave that one, like, at their base. And then there's also other ways to summon your Exocraft. So if you have a freighter, which is those, like, giant ships that are in orbit, there's an Exocraft specialist room that you can build in those ships to allow you, if your freighter is in orbit or in your solar system, you can just summon the Exocrafts whenever you want it. So that's another way to get it. Exocrafts. And probably a preferred way, so you don't have to keep putting down, like, platforms everywhere you go. Granted, you can just, like, demolish the platform as soon as you place it down, but it does get annoying to have to carry around the resources for the platform anytime you want, like, a Minotaur or a Natillion or whatever. Ooh, it's a whole lot of oxygen. Yeah, why not? I'm worth it. Now, I don't own a freighter yet. It was never voted for me to pursue one. So I don't have, you know, a freighter to install the Exocraft deployment room in. But maybe one day, when you viewers decide to pursue fleets and freighters. But for now, a humble pirate base will do. Oh, there's... yeah, let's go that way first. Get a little nav data while I'm at it, too. You know it's your fault, but painful seeing my jetpack so limited? Yeah. Investing in my own personal equipment, you know, has taken a back seat, and it shows. It's fine. I don't care. I could use the Exocrafts for storage too, yeah. Right now, I'm as full as my inventory is, I'm not strapped for storage because I have the buildable storage container that I could use if I cared to. I just don't care to. Because there's really nothing I feel like I need to pick up that matters at the moment. How many tech modules do I need? So I needed a bare minimum of like 26. But a few more would allow me to get like foundations and other nice to haves before I start building. And then for the building itself, I'm going to need a lot of frostwort and silver, primarily, with other things in it as well. Oh, I might be able to buy... is this a tech hub? Might be able to buy some from here. Here, have some sodium. Did not give him what he wanted. Oh well. Kiss of matter. What a tiny little multi-tool. Utterly worthless. So purchasing components. Here's some glass. I'm not really needing to buy glass right now though. But what I really want to do is see what blueprints you have. Sometimes they'll also sell salvage tech. Oh yeah. I mean that would be smart. I'll buy that. Did they have salvage tech? I should double check. No, not this time. So I did mention that oh right, because I'm on a pirate system. Everything for sale is going to be smuggled and illegal. Yeah, let's call the ship in so I can empty out some of the stuff from my inventory. I bought the Pugnium for its launch thrusters. And then put the rusted metal in there. The game wanted me to like build the oxygen membrane, but I don't have the copper for that, so I'm going to hold off on that. The upgrade chart he was selling, so that upgrade chart would give me the location of essentially like a drop pod. And in the drop pod, I could repair it for an exosuit slot. So it's just a chart to where I can expand my exosuit. Personal preference, I don't usually do those because they're a lot of effort to like go from exo drop pod to exo drop pod. And then you get there, repairing it's pretty cheap. It's only a little bit of like carbon and chromatic or something. I forget exactly what's involved. But it's faster just to like jump from system to system and then to check in on the hub and the anomaly to get 2 upgrade slots every time you jump rather than to actually have to like build and explore. But it's a personal preference. I could definitely see doing both. And if I happen upon one of those exo repair spots, I'll do it. Yeah, you can just randomly stumble upon it. Absolutely. So I'm up to 28. That should be enough, but I'm gonna get a little bit more. Just so that I don't have to come back at this anytime soon. Yeah, really anything in the game except for like autophage camps, you can like randomly happen upon. The autophage camps require some like quest lines to be done first, because you can find their camps, but you literally won't even be able to see them. They'll be invisible to you, barring some special circumstances. But I can't do that quest line yet because I'm missing a huge amount of its precursors, like being an overseer, for instance. Aim for 35? Yeah, something like that. I'll just go until there's none that are close to me, or until I'm satisfied. Not paying attention to specific numbers. So I did have that follow-up question. How to get the building materials. Mining base. Set up a mining base. Buy them. Or mine them. So the building materials, a lot of it is silver. So I could set up a mining base for silver. Now that would help me long term. It would not help me initially, because it would give me a lot of silver to work with, you know, after the mines have been active for like a few hours. So if I set up a quick mining base and then did other things, I could come back, reap all the silver, and then, you know, build something with it. Oh, yeah, let's get nanites. Buying them, it's pretty easy to find silver as a resource to buy off of other pilots. So buying them is not too difficult to do as a result. And then silver is also a node that is... Oh, I guess I destroyed that egg or something. Silver is also not a resource that's particularly difficult to find on a surface. Can you stop hitting me? I'm a little worried that my inventory is going to fill up and I'm not even going to be able to pick up these cores. They're going to start spitting on me if I go inside, though. Let's go inside in here. Do I have room? Oh, yeah, I have room. I think. Yeah, I have room. Okay. I should probably go inside and see if they have like a... Oh, they bashed me inside. Perfect. I was going to check if there was a shield regen in here, because my shields are basically broken. Oh! And then the little tentacle inside the thing attacked me. Cool. No, there doesn't seem to be a shield console in here. Where's that tentacle? You! Why'd you hit me? Alright, yep. Was it useful? Just some nanites. Swarm is subsiding. Well, it's good, because I'm about to piss him off again. Gotta work on my, my dodging. One of the problems of having a Sentinel multi-tool with 2 drills on it is, like, you have to be really gentle on the trigger when mining these eggs, because any more than, like, a quarter-second tap and you, like, melt the lobble cores that you meant to harvest, because it's just too effective. As you can see, I'm barely touching the thing and it goes poof. Well, sorry. Little monstrosities, your linear movement is easy to predict. Alright, let's get the health restorative and then get back to technology. Hey, Anon, thank you for the resub. Cheers. So it looks like you guys want me to set up a mining base. I'll probably end up doing a hybrid of the two, buying them and setting up a mining base, because, as I said, there's a bit of a lag time. However, you can compensate for that lag time of, like, me getting silver by just voting for me to do other things as I'm slowly accumulating silver from the mining base. The choice will be up to you. But maybe this will be my last buried tech module, and then I'll buy the technology I need and then seek out a silver mining base. Seems like a good plan of action. So what did I end up with? 43? Not bad. Go ahead and hide that pole. Set up a mining base. So I already have a mag ferrite mining base. So now I just have to find a good spot for a silver mining base. Ideally, it would be like an S tier spot, but, you know, if it's not a big deal. And I should buy, you know, I should be ready with a bunch of, like, metal plating and other resources. Slash, thank you for the sub. Welcome to the stream. All right, here we go. So first things first, cuboid roof, done. The struts and the room frame and the strut frame I'll get as well. They were really cheap. I got antimatter already. So then I wanted the hollow biodome. No, I don't know why I said hollow. The biodome, wherever it is. Biodome is here. Okay, I also want the curved corridor. And I have 10 left. So with the, or 11 left rather, I'll get the angled window and the ox harvest, or the atmosphere harvester. Gas extractor, there it is. All right, I think that was well spent. You know, I forgot I haven't done Atlas passes. Let's learn how to make a warp hypercore. I think that would be useful. Trying to think if there's anything else I've overlooked. No, not really. Okay, cool. So now the plan is to try to scout out a silver node. A subterranean silver node. I'm curious if the planet that I set up the magferrite miner also has silver. I think it probably does. That could be wrong. I will find out soon.
Technology recharge.
Alright, so my planet does not. It has copper, paraffinium, sodium. This one. Now, show me the planet, not the colony. Come on, planet, please. Game's like, no, colony only. I might have to switch cameras to the first-person camera. Sometimes the first-person camera is a little bit more... There it goes. Nope. Copper, pyrite, magferrite. Oh, we'll keep looking. It might not even be in this system. Ideally, I'd want it to be, but if it isn't, it's not a big deal. So nothing there. Alright, I have to go on the other side of this planet then. Hey, Mojo! Thank you for the prime drop. Oh, silver, perfect. So, Toyala Prime. Copper, ammonia, silver. Is the bitrate compression less weird when I'm in a cockpit like this? Because I know when I'm not in the cockpit, it gets real blurry. But because, like, maybe 60% of my screen is static, I figure maybe it gets less blurry this way. It's better? Looks better? Okay, cool. A bit better, but not by much. Well, as long as it's some sort of improvement. And then once I'm, like, closer to the planet, I'll try to switch my star view. Thank you for tuning in to No Man's Sky Outlaw, which originally streamed live on Twitch October 5th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you in next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow outlaws,